Hi, welcome to my video on the equation of ellipse in transformational form, part 3. Writing the equation of ellipse in mapping notation. The transformational form is x minus h all squared over a squared, y minus k all squared over b squared equals 1. So the center is h comma k. The horizontal translation is h. The vertical translation is k. The horizontal stretch is square root of a squared, which is a. The vertical stretch is the square root of b squared, which is b. So the mapping rule in relation to the unit circle, that's the values x comma y map to. So you take the a and multiply it by x and add on the h. And you take the vertical stretch, which is b, times the y, add on the k. So this is the same as the circle. Here in the circle we had rx, ry, because in a circle the radius is the horizontal stretch and the vertical stretch. But now we have an a for the horizontal stretch and a b for the vertical stretch. So notice the mapping rule. So we have an equation here, x squared over 4, y squared over 9 equals 1. It's an ellipse. We have a plus sign. We have an x squared and a y squared, and the a squared and the b squared are different, so the a and b are different values. So the center, there's no extra x's, so it's 0. No extra y's, so it's 0. The horizontal translation is 0. The vertical translation is 0 because there's no x's. The horizontal stretch that's an a squared, so that's a 2 squared, so a squared equals 4, so a is 2. B squared equals 9, so the vertical stretch is 3, which is the b. So the mapping rule is x comma y, and we have a stretch of 2 on the x, so it's a 2x plus the 0, and we have a 3y plus a 0. Let's try another one. Again, don't forget you can pause the video at any time to work these out. And we have a center of opposite of negative 2 is 2, opposite of plus 3 is a minus 3, and the horizontal translation is 2. The vertical translation is negative 3. That means that the ellipse is, the unit circle is moved 2 right and 3 down. And the vertical stretch, so a squared equals 25. So a is 5, so the horizontal stretch is 5. And b squared equals 36, so b is 6. So the vertical stretch is 6. So the mapping rule is the unit circle x comma y, and we have the horizontal stretch is 5, so it's 5 times x plus the translation of 2, and the vertical stretch is 6, so 6y minus 3. And notice in the mapping rule is true. So there's a stretch horizontal, there's a stretch vertical, and it's 2 right and 3 down. But in relation to the equation, we square the 5 and the 6 to get a squared, b squared, and we get the opposite of plus 2 minus 3 and put them in here. So remember, the mapping rule is true to the translation. Graph by the mapping rule. Now we could easily graph these by plotting the center of negative 1, 2, and then doing the stretch. But right now we're just doing them with the mapping rule. So we have a center. The center is negative 1, 2, and the horizontal stretch is the square root of 16, which is 4. The vertical stretch is the square root of 49, which is 7. And the center is your horizontal translation is negative 1, and your vertical translation is your 2. So the mapping rule is x comma y map 2. Here we go. We got a stretch of 4 on the x, so it's 4x minus 1, and the vertical stretch is 7y plus 2. And this is x comma y. Sorry, x comma y is the ordered pair, so this is the table. So if you think about, let me do the circle here. So if I do the unit circle, remember the unit circle has x is 1, 0, x is 0, 1, x is negative 1, 0, x is 0, negative 1. So the unit circle, we take these ordered pairs and write them down. So we get a 1, 0, 0, 1, and we get negative 1, 0, and we get 0, negative 1. So if we take the mapping rule, which is 4x minus 1 for the x, and 7y plus 2, so we sub all the values of x in and the values of y in. So put a 1 in here, 4 minus 1 is 3. Put a 0 in, you get a negative 1. Put a negative 1 in for x, and you get a negative 5. Put 0 in, which I did, you get negative 1. Now, sub these values in for y. 0 going in here gives you a 2. 1 going in here gives you a 9. 0 going in gives you a 2. Negative 1 gives you negative 7, plus 2 is negative 5. So we graph these ordered pairs. 3, 2. X is 3, y is 2. X is negative 1, y is 9. X is negative 1, y is, did I put 9? X is negative 1, y is 9. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 1, 9 right here, right? X is negative 5, y is 2. X is negative 5, y is 2. And x is negative 1, y is negative 5. X is negative 1, y is negative 5. Way down here. And so, again, there's the ellipse. And the center, remember the center is negative 1, 2, which is right here. So this point, which is the center, is halfway between these two, and it's halfway, is the midpoint between this vertex, and we get coming up with that later. So if you draw a vertical axis and a horizontal axis, this is the center, which is in the middle. So let's do another one. And we have this equation of an ellipse. Notice we have an x squared, y squared with a plus sign. And we got a squared is 25, b squared is 4. So the center is 3, negative 1. And we have a horizontal translation of 3, a vertical translation of negative 1, whatever the center is, because that's the h and the k. And we have a horizontal stretch, which is the square root of 25, which is 5. The vertical stretch is the square root of 4, which is 2. So the mapping rule is x comma y map 2. And there we go. The horizontal stretch 5 times x plus 3. Vertical stretch is 2, so it's 2y minus 1. And so this is the xy is the unit circle. So the unit circle, and there's all these ordered pairs here. So 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 0, negative 1. And in the ellipse, the mapping, the x value is 5x plus 3, and the y is 2y minus 1. So let's sub the x values in. Put a 1 right here. 5 times 1 plus 3 is 8. Put a 0 in, you get a 3. Put a negative 1. Negative 5 and 3 is negative 2. Put a 0 in, you get the same value you did here. 3 here, 3 here. Put a 0 in for y, you get -1. Put a 1 in for y, and you get 1. Put a 0 in for y, 0 here, a -1, 0 here is a -1. Put a -1 in, you get a -3. 2 times -1 minus 1 is -3. And so we plot 8, which is here. 8, -1 is right there. 3, 1, x is 3, and 1 is right here. X is -2, -1, -2, -1 right here. And 3, -3. X is 3 right here, -3 right there. So we have our ellipse. There it is. And again, if you horizontal axis is right here. The vertical axis is right here. So the center, this center right here should be 3, -1. So that center right there, x is 3, -1, right? And these are the end points of the horizontal axis, and the end points of the vertical axis right in the middle is the center. And notice the stretch is 5 right here. So count 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 5 there. I got 8. Oh, I went over a little tiny bit further right here. Now. 8 is right there. I went over to 9, so I should be going through right here. So there it is. Sorry about that. I plotted the 9. Should be the 8. So count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go this way. To the left, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go up. The vertical stretch is 2. So we go 1, 2. We go down 2. So I plotted that point there, which is a 9. It should have been an 8. My mistake. So I checked it by doing the stretches. And the last question to do, find the equation of the ellipse in transformational form. So we have a center. That's a -1. So that's a +1 squared. Add on. And we have a y. That's a +4. So that's a -4. And notice that this is A. A is 2, so A squared is 4. B is 3, so B squared is, B squared is 9. B is 3, B squared is 9. I'm going to put a B in there then. And we're doing this one, so we have a +2, so this is an x -2 squared. Add on. Notice we have a 0 here, so that's just a y being squared. And A is 5, so A squared is 25. And B is 4, so this is 16. So that's a y squared right there. And notice, I forgot to put equals to 1, because the transformational form is equal to 1. Transformational form is equal to 1. And the last one, we have an equation. So we have an x -3, so it's a +3. Add on. We have a y, that's a -5, so it's a +5 squared. A is 6, so that's 36. B is 9. Just put A is 6. A is 6, 36. B is 9, so that's an 81. A squared is underneath the x, because the A is the stretch that many units to the left of the center, that many units to the right of the center. And B is the vertical stretch up and down from the center. So there's the equation in the transformational form, picking it up from the mapping rule. So that brings us to the end of another video. Again, if you like it, click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, just one word, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.